Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, in this episode, what I want to share with you is a modern process to take a prospect and convert them to a client. So let's jump right in. For decades, I've taught my clients. It's interesting in our industry. There's not a lot of good sales training. There's not a lot of good influence training. There's product training, right? And we kind of work around that throughout our careers. And so what I developed many years ago was a program called Meeting Mastery. And Meeting Mastery was literally a 27 module deep dive on how to run meetings, how to read people, how to understand people. And I recorded that maybe almost 10, 15 years ago, and our world has changed. So actually, I'm in the midst right now preparing to teach my new program called Get the Yes. And Get the Yes is really predicated on modern marketing and sales practices. So let's talk a little bit about it. I want to give you guys a little preview, and I want you to go take this, and I want you to go deploy it into your businesses. See, the typical advisor, and let's kind of just talk about how things tend to be and why they don't work, okay? So a typical advisor, the whole goal is what? Get in front of a qualified person. And we're just going to talk sales and marketing. Yes, we're going to use the S word in sales. It's not a bad word. And, everything has to be sold, right? The way it works. And so if you think about it, most advisors, their thing is if I can just get in front of somebody, I can get the job done. And years ago that was true because your prospect, the consumer, didn't have a lot of options, right? This is like before the internet, right? You got your business news either reading the newspaper, the stock tables, maybe there's a little 3-minute blippy on the nightly on the news on what the markets did, but pretty much it was a passive process. Your prospect today is what? They're inundated, right? I mean, they can go here and get market updates, training. They can go robo-advisor, insurance companies, banks, wirehouses, independents, RIAs, fee-only, fee-based. I mean, there's a plethora of opportunity. And I'm not here to debate which one is better or not. It's not my place. But the point is that the person you're getting to talk to today is very different than even 5 years ago. They are coming in with sometimes too much information. Maybe they sat with too many seminars. They visited with too many advisors, right? And so if you're operating, and if you've been in this business any length of time, and you're operating in a model or a mental construct that you built 5, 10, 15 years ago, it is outdated. So let me walk you through. So instead of which is going to sound like kind of totally backwards, but let me give you the reason why. Most advisors will do almost anything to get a meeting because our brain says, if I can get in front of the person, I've got a shot, right? And then in most cases, you'll sit there and you'll give away what are we in the business of today? I want you to think about that for a second. Do you make money trading? No. What you sell are really two things: your relationship and your intellectual property / capital. Two things. And most of you give it away. You'll do multiple meetings, you'll spend phone calls, you'll do plans for free, you'll do analysis for free, you'll do proposals for free, and you just give it away and here, right? Yet the funny thing is, the industry, our profession, what's our psychic wound as a profession? We want to be treated as professionals, right? So we want to be looked at like doctors and lawyers and CPAs and consultants. But I don't see those people giving away their stuff. I don't see my CPA giving away free tax returns for the first year. I don't see my attorney giving away a free estate plan. My doctor definitely doesn't give away crap. But yet we want one thing, but yet we behave like something different. So in other words, we want, as an industry, as a profession, to be treated as a peer, but yet we operate as salespeople. And we wonder why we have this kind of, this jointness, if you will, in our space. So what I've developed, and I study influence. I study human behavior. It's kind of my, everybody's got to have a hobby, right? That's my hobby. And so the good thing about me is it's not something where I sit there and say, well, here's how I sell, so therefore all you sell the same way. What I do is I take concepts and strategies, and I've got lots of clients who will say, look, I want you to try something. So this is stuff that's really been tested in the trenches. This is stuff that we've deployed wirehouse, we've deployed independent, we deployed IMOs, FMOs in terms of seminar practices, follow-up, things like that. It really truly works. So let's get into some of the process. Again, this is a little like a 10-hour training, so I'm not going to do that here, but I want to give you guys a framework to kind of say, yeah, you know what, that kind of makes sense. So the first thing is you've got to understand that you got to make sure that you're solid. And when I say solid, here's what I'm really saying. Do you believe you deserve to be successful? Do you believe you deserve the business? Are you ready for rejection? Are you ready for failure? Are you ready for combat? Because when you think about influencing, when you think about getting the yes, it's combat. It's emotional and mental combat. And what I mean by that is you are trying to get an outcome, which is getting a person, if qualified and if it's appropriate, to them to get a decision while they are trying to tell you that they're too busy, they don't want to make any changes right now, they're afraid to change. Fear is really the enemy, right? So this is the combat we have. This is what goes on. And if you go into a meeting or any interaction and you're like, oh, I hope it works out, or I'm going to just show up and see what happens, you're screwed. How many times have you sat with somebody and within the first 3 to 5 minutes, you determined in your own mind, you know what, I am not going to work with this person. They're not going to say yes to me. I don't like them. But yet you'll sit there for another 90 minutes and BS them. Why? Right? So number one is you got to get your mind right. Now we have a process called the Magellan Morning 8. It's a morning ritual process. It locks us in each and every day. Next, you got to understand your prospect, the human being or human beings, right, on the other side. How are they wired? Decision-making syntax, communication styles, needs, wants, wounds, fears, outcome. There's an emotional blueprint that you've got to create, and you create that by questioning, right? Not interrogating the person, right? Because you gotta fit their wiring. See, they're not gonna change their patterns to come to you. You gotta understand what their patterns are, and then you gotta create your process custom around their patterns. If you do not do that, you have a mismatch, and you will not get the yes. The next thing we got to do, which this is what makes it all different in my work, in my game. We create authority and scarcity, which is like the whole opposite of what the industry does. And what do I mean by that? Authority, right? We are going to interview them. They are going to do like an interview / application. That we're not, they have to qualify to come see us. Scarcity. They don't just get to come in and see us. They have to do an interview phone call first. So we put barriers up. And I want you to think about something really, and this is diametrically different than most advisors, in fact, 99% of the industry thinks about, and this is why I like it, because it's different, right? I want you to think about in your own world, when you wanted to go do something and it was hard to do it. Maybe it was a ticket to something. Maybe you wanted to go see a consultant. Maybe there was a doctor or somebody, and it was like, hey, you know what? We're like like our design, like we're trying to get a house done here, a renovation, right? Trying to get a builder to come in and do stuff. It's like literally you think these guys were like made out of gold. I mean, because that's how crazy it is, right? So I value it more because it's scarce. Think about just society. When something is viewed as scarce, how do we value it? Value it greater, right? Law of supply and demand. But if you're out there making yourself available to everybody all the time, you create no scarcity. You do not trigger any authority. I want you to think about like a push-pull. So in other words, I want to pull those qualified who really need the help or really committed. I want to pull them in, right? But I want to push away those that are not qualified economically, emotionally, they're not ready to do something. I don't need to waste my time with these people right now. So that's why I create an application process and an interview process to create that authority and that scarcity, which for a lot of advisors that like totally blows them away. Like you mean I'm not just going to bring them in and like because I got to get in front. No, you're not going to just bring them in. Okay, we're going to do an actual 20 to 30 minute interview / intro call. That's their choice to come in. While we're doing that, we're going to build rapport. We're going to create trust. We're going to do those things, right? So again, it's all about rapport, building that out. The next thing we're going to do, all right, we're going to talk about, remember this, no pain, no change. So if you can't find your prospect's pain points, and what I do as part of my programs, I come up with, and we're going to be doing this year in business planning for those of you who are going to be joining us in Fort Lauderdale in the marketing day. What is your target market core pain points? Is it running out of money? Is it return? Is it fees? Like, what is it? And there's several. You need to know those because you need to talk around those, right? Next, if they qualify, they're going to come in for a consult. Now, in my world, I like that consult to be paid. Yes, I want you to get paid for your time, right? You're valuable. You just give them a half hour on the phone. I would prefer a paid consult. All we're going to do in that paid consult, needs, wants, wounds, understand their pain, magnify it, find out their financial goals, what they're looking for. Like, we're going to do a real consult, not just kind of talk at them. So my game is 80-20. The client or / prospect is speaking 80% of the time. You're speaking 20% of the time because you're asking questions and taking notes, right? Takes the pressure off of having to be a great presenter, right? After that consult, it's going to go, so here's the difference. No. We're going to do a project, a paid project. Now, whether that paid project is a financial plan, risk tolerance questionnaire like a Riskalyze, fee, income plan, whatever it happens to be, and that's going to be your game. But we're going to get compensated for that as a professional. And then after you deliver that, you're going to give them what we call the problem possibility. Hey, here are your problems / challenges. Here's a possibility of retaining us, right, long term. And I want you to think about the frame that we're putting on all this, right? So here's what it is. Do a workshop, CPA refers you, your client refers you, and you get an email, phone call, somehow somebody walks into your world. Say, look, here's our process. Number one, we do an intro call. And it's 20, 30 minutes. I just want you to tell me your story. I'll ask you some questions. You tell me what you're looking for. If you and I deem that makes sense, then we'll get together for a consult. There's an application, like a questionnaire you need to fill out, and then my perfect world, the consult's X amount of dollars, right? So we do that. What we're doing is we're triggering scarcity and authority. We're putting some barriers up, which people like, oh, you're not like everybody else. I mean, I can just go see anybody, usually anywhere, and hey, I got to pay you? Yeah, you do. Totally different animal, right? So we do that. And what we're really looking to do is really just kind of keep it where we're never agreeing to take them on as the client long term. Hey, so what in the intro, if it makes sense, what's the product? The consult. What's the sale on the consult? The project. We didn't talk about ACATs, transfers, anything yet. We're going to do this project. And like I said, it could be a financial plan, risk tolerance questionnaire, all the above, whatever you determine, retirement income plan, social security plan, whatever. You get paid for it. So the frame on that is, hey, so our next step would be do a project together. And here, based on our conversation today, here are the 3 or 4 things we need to do. Here's my fee to get that done. You leave your money where it is. This is the entire scope of our relationship. It's a project. You get to know me, I get to know you, we add value, you're going to have a game plan. You can either talk to me about integrating it with me, you can do it yourself, you can take it to whoever you want to do it to. It's your work product because you're paying for it, right? And that totally changes the frame because we're still kind of pushing them away. And remember, scarcity, authority, the more, so you think about this, when you play hard to get, people value it more, right? Which is a reverse psychology in our industry. And what most sales trainers, managers, leaders will tell you, just do more. Hey, no, get in front of more people. But if you suck at it or you're not that good at it, all you're going to do is get frustrated because you're going to be spitting through people. Like, why? So then we bring them back in and we give them more findings. We handle, and we talk about problem possibility, right? So here are the things. And then we handle any objections, and we say, look, here are your choices. Would you like to discuss retaining us ongoing as your advisor? Would you prefer to do this on your own and see how that goes? Or would you just want to go ahead and hire someone else, right? Those are your 3 choices. Which one would you like? After they've got to experience you at the end here, they're not going to go to a competitor. We've not seen that. It's going to be 85% they're going to hire you. And if they don't hire you because they think they can do it themselves, and eventually they'll probably come back anyway, right? But you've gotten paid for your time, right? Now, is that going to make you profitable? Probably not. I mean, nobody's going to retire on planning fees or consult fees, but it changes the frame of reference. And, oh, by the way, when you create this scenario, fees are less of an issue. You can get premium fees, pricing. Why? Because you're in a position of authority. And you're willing to walk away. Because we didn't rush to go get them. We didn't like, oh, yes, oh, we can sign up right now. Yeah, ACATS, yeah, we can absolutely do that today. And all of you have had this experience where somebody comes in and they're so excited to work with you, like, I can't wait, and they're like in before they should be in, and they can go out just as quickly because that's the way they decide they're like that, right? So this whole process, this whole protocol that I just shared with you is what I teach. I want you to think about how you deploy I cannot give you the details in the space of the show here, but I want you to think about how does your current prospect to client conversion process really work for you? How close are you? Are you charging fees at all, or are you just giving it away? Do you really value yourself? Do you really think, and I don't care if somebody's coming in with $500,000, $5 million, $30 million. I've had clients that do $30 or $50 million deals, right? Process is the same. So whether it's mom and pop middle America or the dude that lives on a hill, process is the same. So somebody's saying, well, you mean if I got a high net worth person and they got like $5 or $10 million, I should be charging them? Yes. Yes. And that's even more important in that world. You know why? Because everybody wants to give it to them for free. And see, when we do that, think about this. If something is for free, how valued is it? How good can it be? How good can it really be if it doesn't cost anything? In our world, we charge. We know our value. We roll a totally different game. So I want you to think about that. And as we wrap up this show, my goal here today was to just give you some food for thought. Some food for thought. Now, if you want access to Get the S, both live, and we're also going to have a virtual version pretty soon, MagellanNetwork.net. Come, let's play for a couple of weeks. Come experience what we do. It will change everything about how you run yourself and how you run your business. So, until the next episode, it's Coach Joe Lukacs saying, hey, be successful, be uncomfortable. 1, 2, 3, off we go. Let's go get them. So there you have it. If you really enjoyed watching this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the Magellan Network Show with Coach Joe here on YouTube. And remember, I'm always here to help you become a better entrepreneur, business owner, and financial advisor. With that, I'll see you next time on the Magellan Network Show with me, Coach Joe. Take care and goodbye.